I was not expecting to get an arch rival today, but here we are.
Come on, man!
Hold on. Here we are.
Episode 8 of Archrivals.
I thought it was episode 7.
Well, somehow we're always a week behind. I don't know how that works, but it is week 6 of the NFL season.
Indeed it is.
And I did put a post up on my Facebook wall today.
Yeah.
That I wanted to really talk about this Giants-Eagles game last night. Not only was it a debacle because we lost the pick, we actually felt that the Giants might actually do something. They got a lot of key pieces back on their D. And it was still fucking horrible.
Horrible, he says.
Eli Manning, do me a favor, please. There's not enough Geritol and adult diapers to save you for an NFL season.
Just being brutal.
Sit the fuck down and let another younger quarterback do his job.
Woo! Woo! Jam, Eli Manning. The tongue lashing from Brooklyn, all the way from Brooklyn. And he's not you're playing in his home area, even though he doesn't really like you guys that much.
And this is a shout out to all those Giants fans. Okay? Now, obviously, I'm a Patriots fan living in the New York market. However, when the writing is on the wall, use your fucking phonics material and learn how to fucking read. Because we said it since week 1 of the NFL season. Manning is finished. You all told me I was full of shit. And what comes out on all of the tabloids, the newspapers, ESPN, and even my favorite app, Bleacher Report, Eli Manning is finished. You guys screwed the pooch, didn't get yourself a viable backup quarterback, and now you have to deal with the 800-year-old Geritol quarterback who can't run, makes bad decisions, and is basically just washed up and finished.
He's donezo, man. He had a good run of it, though. He had a good run of it.
Well, okay, so I said it last year, and even though this show wasn't visible last year, okay, I said it to all my friends, the Giants fans, the diehards. When they lost that one game to Philly in week 3, where they got fucking dick punched from that last-minute field goal, okay, that was the downfall. That was the end of the Eli Manning era. They all told me I was full of shit. They go 3-13 last year. Now this year they're 1-5, and Eli Manning is the worst starting quarterback in the NFL right now. Done. End of discussion.
Yeah, he's pretty bad. I'll say that. I mean, I didn't even watch the game. I can't believe we went. You know what, Ricky? You broke your cycle though. I think that's why you're so. I think that's why you're so hot-headed tonight. Is because you've been you were 5-0 in Thursday night picks, and then Eli Manning just shitting your Cheerios, man.
Well, I got to tell you, we did Paint Trade Pipe Bomb last night. We got done at a decent time, and I watched the end of the game. And the only bright spot out of that entire game was Saquon Barkley. That's it. That's all the Giants have. They you re-signed Odell Beckham Jr., who headbutts an air conditioner like a moron. Okay, last year it was the kicking net. Now this year it's the air conditioner. He's
just costing him money.
He's going to divorce the kicking net and marry the air conditioner. Although the air conditioner can't go on road trips with them. Okay? I watched the highlights of this game, which was only like 10 minutes worth. And normally NFL releases a 25 to 30 minute highlight clip. Obviously, it was more lopsided Philly than it was the Giants because the Giants really didn't do anything the entire game. It was all Saquon Barkley highlights. That's all it was. So, to be honest with you, Giants fans, if I really had the funeral dirge to play for you right now, I'd play it for you because you're going to either end up 3-13 or probably the number 1 pick in the NFL draft fighting with Arizona. I'm sorry. I Giants fans annoy the shit out of me. Even though watching the game last night was watching a bunch of blueberries and grapes running around on the field. It was just, I don't know.
Man, he is salty, ladies and gentlemen. Can you guys text 555 in the chat line if you think Ricky's salty that he finally got his first loss or wrong pick on the Thursday night game? He's mad. He's mad man. But yeah, dude, they did horrible. They were terrible. And maybe, Kaepernick's looking for a job.
And I don't think they're going to sign him. And a lot of people were like, oh, that's only a short gap fix. It would be better than watching geriatric freaking 38-year-old Eli Manning running around on the field. Oh, wait, I forgot. He doesn't run. And every time he comes off the field, he has to get his diapers changed because he's been sacked that crappy offensive line he's got.
You think Peyton's over there changing his diapers?
Peyton's been sitting in the box clapping every time that he finds Eli on the ground. That's exactly what it is. I'm sorry. Giants fans kill me. I thought I had it bad with the rivalry with the Jets. I really thought I had it bad with the Jet fans. But you know what? The Jets have more wins than the Giants and have a decently better team than the Giants. So I think Big Brother fell down the stairs and now Little Brother's coming up the stairs.
Wow. I mean, that's
unreal.
Yeah. They say the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Well, this one did.
And to boot, the Giants let go of their lovely first-round pick, Eric Flowers, and he signed with the Jaguars.
Oh, no.
That's some crazy shit. And then to top it all off, DeMarcus Lawrence, the lineman for the Cowboys, has been playing the last 2 years with a torn labrum. Isn't that lovely?
A torn what? Run?
A labrum.
Labrum.
Well,
near killed him.
So that's basically
that joke was wasted on you, Ricky. I thought that was a genius ass joke, and I got no response from it. I am offended, sir.
Well, I actually got to give DeMarcus Lawrence a lot of credit because he's probably one of the best pieces the Cowboys actually have, and that's saying more than Dak Prescott and Mr. Ezekiel Elliott. But I'm sorry, it doesn't work well for me. Wow. So I'm a very angry little man tonight. I actually got the booster seat so I could sit upright properly.
Well, that's good. as long as you're comfortable, I got good news, man. Not more than 10 minutes ago, my alma mater. Hold on, we're gonna kick this up here real quick. My alma mater, Dodge City High School, has won the hatchet back from their rival Garden City. That rivalry is over 100 years old, and so I'm playing the fight song right now, because it is a glorious fight tonight. And yeah, kicked the shit out of them. 27-7, 2 picks against Garden City, and boy, what a game! I mean, so what they do here is when Dodge City scores, I live close to the stadium. So when Dodge City scores, they shoot off like cannons.
Mm.
Now it sounded like a goddamn war zone out here, right? It was just going off left and right. But Aiden Miner's watching. What's up, Aiden? Shauna Heth is watching. How's everybody doing tonight? But yeah, so it's this thing's been going on. Oh man, it's got to be over 100 years. Dodge City's won 70 or 71. I want to say Garden City's won 35, and they've tied like 4 times. But yeah,
So
big rivalry.
So what did they cut the hatchet in half when they tied?
No. So the hatchet's painted. I don't. Yeah, what do they do? Cut it in half? I don't know.
I mean, like, how does that really work?
I think it stays with the team that had it.
Well, that's kind of interesting in a way if you think about it, but it also gives you that college feel.
Yeah,
because a lot of the high schools, especially here, they don't have anything particularly special like the hatchet or the boot, like I've seen in college football, which is actually pretty cool.
Yeah, no, the hatchet's a big deal, man. Like there's going to be. I'm glad I have to work in the morning, which I've got a light day to work at work tomorrow. But I've got to work in the morning, and well, there are going to be some police out tonight. But it's gotten a lot more tame than when I was in high school. Like back in the day, man, you could if you went to Garden City for the hatchet game, you didn't want to take your car because somebody's car was going to get fucked up. One year, my car got keyed and the window got broken. We didn't even win. We didn't even win the goddamn game. And they smashed out my window and keyed my car. I'm like, come on, man. Like, I can see if we won, but I'm 16. I can't afford this shit.
Well, so, your car was just conveniently close to the field, so that's why
they got tons of people's cars, man. Tons of people's. There were fights. Like, there's more. The majority. I mean, tonight, if you were in Dodge City, tonight was the night to commit a crime because the majority of the cops were at that game.
By the way, D-Hay's saying, how about them Red Demons?
How about them Red Demons? We'll play it again for D-Hay. That's his alma mater, too. I'm happy, man. Like, because last year I went with our producer, Derek Relaford, went with him. Got him into a group, into a crowd of people. He was uncomfortable as fuck. But he went to the game, took his son, and Dodge City just got there. It was 49-9. So we got to stick it to him a little bit this year. 27-7. We bring the hatchet home for another year. Hot damn.
See, that's the sweet thing about sports.
It is.
Now when you deal with a whole bunch of people who root for blueberries.
Oh yeah. So yeah. The series record: Dodge City 71, Garden City 35, 4 ties. Yep, I was right. Damn, I was right on the money. Hot damn. Anyways, what else you got, Ricky? Got any more news? Should we jump right into the Friday's picks?
I say we should jump right into the picks.
All right.
Because they're the one game I know you're going to have a lot of analysis on, and that would be the London game that's coming up this weekend.
We'll get into that one shortly.
We will start off with Buccaneers and Falcons.
All right. So here we got this new format here. And we are going to get right into the picks.
All right.
So we've got Bucks at Falcons.
Yes. As you can see, the Falcons have won the last 3 times. And this is a divisional game. So it means a lot. The Falcons have not really made me happy this year.
I don't think they made anybody happy, especially the good people of Atlanta.
Well, Julio Jones still hasn't reached the end zone yet. That's scary.
Not one touchdown the whole year.
No.
Good Lord.
And obviously, the Bucks have gone back to Jameis Winston after a great start to what I thought was a great start for them. You bench your hottest player, and now you have the walking turd running around on the field. Do you see where this episode is really going to go?
I like your nicknames for everybody so far. Walking turd, the blueberries.
Yes. So, being this game is in Atlanta. Let me check the Vegas odds here because, I was told that my handicapping with the odds has actually been good, even though we've been kind of picking the game straight. They have this game at over 57, and Atlanta spotting Tampa 3.5. So, in other words, apparently they're saying that both teams are going to score. Obviously, the defenses are not that great. Tampa's second-rated offense in the NFL. How fucking kooky is that?
First in passing. Holy shit.
Yeah, and their best quarterback is the one riding the bench. Isn't that lovely?
Mm-hmm.
That's just great. Even though I've kind of gotten burned by the Falcons already, I don't know. I mean, I could start off this week 0-2. I did it last week. I have a feeling. I have a feeling that this week Atlanta's going to get off the bump, and I'm going to go with the Falcons.
I'm going to go with the Buccaneers, sir. I think they will. I think the Buccaneers are going to do it. I got faith in them, and I mean, it's going to be an offensive game, the way you look at it. So I'm going to go with the number 2 ranked offense versus the number 13 ranked offense.
Well, the only thing I'm going to say about this game is if Atlanta wins this game, make sure there's a lot of cottonelle spread out because
people
I have a feeling that walking turd is just going to keep dropping diarrhea all over the place.
Jesus Christ.
I just feel that this game is one of those trap games. It says that they're spotting 3, and it really should be a pick'em.
You think?
That's what I really do think. And if Vegas odds don't change it by the weekend, by game time, then I really think that people are going to be upset.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Bucks.
Alrighty. So now we got the next game on the listing here is Carolina and the Washington Redskins. This series has been lopsided. It's obviously not a divisional game. However, after seeing Carolina dick punch the Giants on Sunday.
Did they dick punch the Giants, though? Because, I mean, the Giants almost won that game.
All right, but Gano's career long going into the game was only 59, and he kicked 63 with seconds to spare.
That's true.
The Giants really did have that game locked up, but apparently they didn't eat their Wheaties before the game started. And Carolina, again, pulls another late one out because they did it in 2016 as well, and that was at MetLife Stadium where they had done that to the Giants. Carolina's run game is really, really good. I'm not going to lie on this thing.
No, it's not bad at all.
Christian McCaffrey, okay, now I'm not saying this is a racist thing, but he is a really fast white boy at a running back position.
Oh, thank God you said white guy.
All right.
I'm sorry, man, because it's almost like every time someone says this isn't a racist thing, but I'm like, and you're like, that's a real fast white boy. Like, okay, thank Christ.
He's not as fast as some of the elder statesmen that I've seen in the NFL, like Ed McCaffrey and a bunch of the other them. But he is probably one of the best multi-purpose backs that I've seen in a long time. And there's been plenty of them. In fact, your boy Bo is one of those.
My boy Bo, he's right here.
Those multi-purpose guys. See, he even whips out the card.
I got it right here with me. It's for safekeeping. We don't have the hotline, Ray, set up, but we're working on getting that set up. Ray Funk from Activate LA, Killer Podcast.
Yeah, knowing anything, I'll be calling in later because he always looks for me to call in.
Oh, I guess you're a local celebrity, Ed.
Well, I get around, you know. I got 4 shows that I got to go on now.
Look at you.
All right, so this one here, these numbers are definitely they're just misleading. I have to tell you that. Obviously, number 1 in the rush, that's on point. Their passing game is not that bad. Defensively, it's a little bit of an off year for Luke Kuechly. I'm giving him that. And he's been hit with that roughing the passer BS.
Everybody has, though.
Washington's only great thing is their D. Now, mind you, they added Alex Smith. They added some receivers, and they added some running backs, and they just still can't get out of it. I've literally renamed the NFC the trash division because they're either at 500 or below. And obviously, this is one of those 500 teams that they said was going to finish in 4th. That was the NFL prediction.
Mm-hmm.
Believe it or not. I'm going to go with the Carolina Panthers. It's a safe bet.
Yeah.
Now, Vegas has only got this as a 1-point game, which is pretty much...
I'm going for Washington, then. Vegas has it a 1-point game. I'm going to say the Redskins do it.
I just don't think that the Redskins are going to be able to stop that rush defense, that rush offense. I really don't. Because you never know with that. They have that read option play that they've been doing, and majority of the time in that read option, they're giving it to Newton, letting Newton just run with his hair on fire.
That is true. And I just remembered that Alex Smith is Washington's quarterback. I'm going to switch back over. I'm going to go with the Panthers as well.
Okay.
I have no faith in Alex Smith whatsoever. I would, if I had children, I would not let him watch them for 30 seconds unattended, because he'd probably lose them or they'd die.
We have a new viewer that I have not seen yet.
Trin?
Yes.
Yeah, he's one of Derek's homies from Elkhart.
Well, that's very cool. Welcome to the show, Trin. Be surprised at all of the terminologies that we're going to use tonight, because I'm just all over the place.
So far we've got little turd and we've got blueberries
and grapes.
Who are the grapes?
All right. Those were the Philadelphia Eagles.
Oh, the green. Okay, green grapes. I got you.
And surprisingly enough, not to just try to rewind, but the Giants actually wore their throwback classic jerseys last night, and they almost looked like
when they were good.
When they were good back in like the 90s, and they actually looked like marshmallows with little stripes. Just saying, because it's just one of those days.
Like bomb pops?
Yes, like bomb pops.
All right. Up next. Well, everybody knows who we've got next, because everybody's going to know by the sound.
The autumn
and
wind
we
was
have
a pirate,
Oakland
blustering in
versus the Seahawks
with a rollicking
in
song.
London, over at Wembley.
This is the first game in a long time. However, now if you see it on the screen and it does say that 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, this is a game that they're actually having later on in the day overseas that I've ever seen. I've never really seen it where it actually fits into the NFL 1 o'clock schedule. This game normally is at like 9 a.m. in the morning, even sometimes a little bit earlier than that, because there's the 5-6 hour time difference. So it's kind of great that it actually fits into the NFL schedule. How they're going to work it for TV, on the other hand, I don't know. But being the fact that maybe that the Giant game, that debacle of crap was on Thursday Night Football, this might actually make TV. which I'd kind of hope and pray it would.
Also works if you have the NFL Sunday ticket.
Yes.
It's a fantastic thing. Don't know if
And,
it's worth $45 a month, but it's a nice thing if you can afford it.
By the way, our producer is already saying that he's got a prediction for the game.
Yeah,
and
I saw
he's
that, dude. That
predicting
guy
the
likes
Seahawks by 60.
That guy likes to shit sideways out of his mouth. So, like, I don't know if I'm going to believe Seahawks by 6. And if you look at the past head-to-heads, all right, so we beat them in preseason. That doesn't really mean much, but we did beat them 30-19. Beat them by 11 points. They only beat us by 4 points last year. And then in the last time we met up was in 2016, and they beat us by 2 points. So it's been pretty close. These teams do happen to go together. You know what? Trins says 28-17 Seahawks. Later, Aiden, have a good night. Trin says 28-17 Seahawks. Man, London.
So believe it or not, on this Vegas odds thing, I guess because it's overseas, they put it backwards. They actually have the spread first and then the under-over. They have the spread as -1 figures, and the under-over is 47.
So they think it's going to be a pretty close game too.
All right, so for me to look at this game right now, and obviously you look at the league rankings, if they put both teams together, they'd actually have a viable team. Because one team's got great defense, and the other team's got great offense, and vice versa is poo-poo.
Do the Raiders have a good offense?
Well, the Raiders have the 6th best offense in the air, but the Seahawks have the 12th best defense in there.
Where are those guys at? Because I haven't seen them play except like one game. They must be on vacation or something. Jesus.
Now, unfortunately, I've gotten to see the Seahawks twice on the Eastern market, and I'm not impressed. Still, I'm not impressed. That defense, Legion of Boom, it blew up. Obviously, Earl Thomas is out for the rest of the year with a broken leg.
Flipped his team off.
And I'm very proud of him for that. Because he played out that contract real well, and they didn't want to pay him. So he'll become a free agent. He'll get some money. And the next time he plays the Seahawks, he'll throw the bird up again. Maybe he'll go to San Francisco and do the same thing that Sherman did. But in this aspect, I don't see the 12th man going overseas. I really don't. I think the Raiders have a really great shot at this. Although the Raiders do travel well when they're not playing in the United States.
They have that. I mean, they didn't even do that bad against the Pats last year in Mexico City. But normally, if it's an overseas or if it's an out of the United States, out of country game, we win that game. So I also not just being a Raider fan, but I'm gonna go with the Raiders as well because I agreed to everything that you're saying there. I don't think that Seattle's gonna travel to the UK and do that and do what they do in the United States. I really don't. I don't see it happening. So I'm gonna go. God, please. Let the Raiders win.
You know, I did find out some very weird information about this whole traveling to London thing. So
it's a 16-hour flight.
It is a 16-hour flight, but here is the huge, tremendous kicker to it, is that these are two West Coast teams, and they don't fly from the West Coast across the Pacific to go to Wembley. I don't know why. It is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard of, but they fly from the West Coast to the East Coast, and then from the East Coast across the pond to go to Wembley.
I think that's a shorter distance, though.
To me, it really, I don't know.
Because you got to fly over all of Russia in the mass that it is, and like Eastern Europe, and so I mean, really, all they got to do is fly across the states and then across the pond. I mean, the Pacific's definitely a significant. I mean, I think there's. Well, I don't know because Sarah Palin said she could see Russia from her back door. So
Well,
who knows?
Maybe she should visit more frequently.
Maybe she should. But yeah, that's a lot of flying time, man. But I don't know the record of the Seahawks playing out.
I don't think they've done the
States.
trip. I really don't think they've done the trip because I've never really seen them do anything outside of the United States, really.
But the Raiders,
Oakland's one of those teams that you
we're
want to
used to it.
Oakland's one of those one of the mainstream long-term addition teams that's been around in the NFL. You want to see the Raiders.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, I'd want to see the Raiders at least once before I die. You know,
Yeah,
even if it's not against the Pats.
I'm trying to
still
get Jeff Longbar to go to that game and go sport him.
You really think he'd go?
I don't know. He doesn't. Where does he live? He lives in. He doesn't live in London, does he?
I don't think so.
Yeah. So I don't know, but he'll wear a Raiders jersey though. I bet you. Bet you would. Bet you. But yeah. So I'm gonna go with Raiders on this one. Ricky's got Raiders. Have we split yet?
Yes, we have. The first game was
Bucks.
Tampa
Yeah, I
and
went with Bucks. Yeah.
your producer's talking trash.
Dude, that guy likes penis in and around his mouth all day.
Ooh. Okay, so speaking about mouth, we go to that other lovely team from New York, the New York Jets, hosting the Indianapolis Colts.
Speaking of turds.
If we had that freaking garbage truck sound backing in to collect the garbage, I think this would be that perfect time. It really would. Because this is another trash bag game.
Yeah.
Both teams combined have 3 wins. Indianapolis Colts have kind of gotten the shaft the last few games. Bad coaching. Their team has been decimated with injuries. And these teams haven't played each other in a while. So they're kind of due. However, it's still Andrew Luck versus a rookie. Isaiah Crowell is listed as questionable for the game, and he did a lot of the heavy lifting last week in that Jet win over the Broncos. The Vegas odds. It's funny how this is probably where I'm going to actually make my pick with the odds. Is under over 45.5, and the Jets are giving 3.
Really?
This is where you kind of get swayed a little bit. It's not even you can't even really go very much by these league rankings because both of them are pretty much trash, except that the Jets have the 6th best rushing offense in the NFL. Then again, if you have a running back running for over almost 200 yards like they did last week, that would definitely boost you in the rushing category.
And all of our friends that are Jets fans, don't you talk trash about Jets?
Listen, I've been doing that since I was born, trashing Jet fans. Just remember one thing: you haven't really been relevant since 1969 when you shared Shea with the Mets. That's all I gotta say.
It's going straight in the garbage.
Wow. Yeah, I don't know. Why am I getting an echo here?
It's not me.
Weird.
For once, it's not me. Thank God.
That was weird.
All right, so I'd stab myself in the eye with a fork by even looking at this, but I'm actually going to go with the Jets.
I think so. Oh man, I don't know. Luck. I like Luck a little bit better than was Darnold or whatever.
Yeah.
I like Luck a little bit better. They got a better passing game. I don't know. Derek says Colts by 1. I guess he started drinking recently. I guess.
This has been this show has been such chaos to even start. Now know that our producer who's not had been really
hasn't watched football a season of football in the past 20 years, and now all of a sudden he's fucking kid sideline, fucking the new bookie. He's like, oh man, I got it. Colts by 1. That's what it's
maybe
gonna
I should
be.
Keep a track of his too, and see what happens.
You should be keeping track of his too, because then we can just like, all right, dude. Well, welcome to the NFL. You were wrong on several different points.
All right, so I know he picked.
Trin does say if they show up like they did against the Broncos and the Lions, they win it. I think the Lions was a fluke. I'm going to go ahead and say that, but they did show up that game. The Broncos are not good. I'm not saying the Raiders are any better, but the Broncos are not good. Well, they are good. Was it Chase Keenum? That guy is just trash.
Well, the only great thing about him is he doesn't throw picks.
Yeah, he does.
Not as many.
That guy's thrown like 4 or 5 interceptions.
I don't know. Now I'm getting fucking echo over here.
See? See what happens when you doubt me?
That's feedback from the other side, though.
Oh, it could be.
Yeah, it's gone now.
There we go.
I don't know. So where are you leaning? Are you leaning on the Colts here?
I don't know, because the Jets did play 2 good games. No, I'm going to go with the Colts.
Okay.
I'm going to go with the Colts.
All right.
All right. Up next, I'm going to go for the team in the purple.
Are you automatically saying that right off the bat?
I'm automatically going to say that right off the bat. Because it's Cardinals versus Vikings in Minnesota. Granted, the Cardinals got their first win last week, and power to them. They were playing a very, very beaten up
49ers team.
Very, very beaten up 49ers team. Derek lives in Phoenix now, so he thinks the Cardinals are just going to figure it out. I don't think that's going to happen. They've done nothing. I mean, look at the way the teams still line up. I can't see where the Cardinals' offense and their rushing is not even – there's not even a bit on this bar graph. You can barely see their passing. They're the 24th overall defense, and they're playing against the 14th ranked offense, the 21st ranked defense, 3rd in passing. They are 31st in rushing, so they're just above the Cardinals on rushing. So they're still better than the Cardinals. I'm gonna see. I mean, I don't see any way that that Arizona wins this game.
All right, but see now you're gonna go with that for the first time ever. Okay, I'm actually gonna go and bet with the Vegas odds on this. Don't ask why. Well, actually, I'm gonna tell you why. Vegas has this game handicapped. Okay?
Well,
43 under over with Arizona getting 11. Arizona's getting 11 points. So for the first time ever, I'm going to actually bet this game with points, and I'm taking the Arizona Cardinals.
Really?
With the points. The first time I'm going to bet with the points. Because the last time we had that Buffalo game where they were supposed to be getting spotted 16, and Buffalo ended up winning by 20-something points. I'm taking the points and running with the Arizona Cardinals.
Oh, my goodness. Your significant other begs the difference. She says the Vikings win because their uniform is pretty.
Well, she's not here to give all the picks.
But you know what, dude? What's funny about that is there are so many women that get that right. They're like, oh, this uniform looks better to me, and they're like, oh, I like that one. Those guys are gonna win because I like their uniforms, and then the assholes win.
Yeah. Well, her normal thing is that if it's not the color of the uniform, it's an animal. If it's not an animal, she looks at the quarterback's ass. So she has a system.
Hashtag quarterbacks too, Mitro. Jesus. How dare you?
That's how she does it. I tell her to bet the sheet all the time. She has a phone. She can Google every quarterback's ass if she needs to. She never does. She could be a freaking perfect money machine.
I'm disgusted.
I really don't even at this point.
Didn't I have a right?
No, I'm going purple.
Okay, I got you on that one.
I'm going. Yeah, you're going with the.
I'm going.
The Redbirds.
I'm going with the Redbirds only because I'm going to actually take the point system on this one and take the 11 points.
Okay. All right. Now, moving right along. If I could get this like top banner out of here and just put this thing where I want it to. There we go.
Perfect.
There we go.
Perfect, just like that.
So we got the Steelers at Cincinnati. 4-1 versus 2-2-1. 4-1 Bengals. Man, the Bengals have been impressing the hell out of me all year.
That is definitely true. And this is another one of those games that Vegas is really putting a lot of money on, believe it or not.
Yeah, are
54 under over. Cincinnati spotting the Steelers 3. This is a rough pick. Another divisional game. Steelers need this game to get back into the race.
Yeah, absolutely. They have to have a win here.
Because you have Cincinnati in first, Baltimore's in second, and then you have Pittsburgh Steelers. This one here, stat-wise for league rankings, is one of the kind of like most lopsided rankings I've ever seen. Almost like that rate, like the Raiders Seattle game, where like if you put both teams together, the teams would be great. For the league rankings for where Cincinnati is, and they have pulled games out of their fucking rectum the entire fucking year. The Atlanta game last week against, who did they play last week? I forgot.
The Packers.
Yes. They pulled that game out pretty well against Aaron Rodgers. No. Detroit played Green Bay last week. Hold on. Check back
Detroit won. That's right.
I don't know. It doesn't matter. We both picked Cincinnati last week.
Yeah, you think we did? You think we did a football show?
Yeah, right.
We know this shit, right? but we don't.
They got to come up with a better stat sheet for that. All right. This game is.
They played the Dolphin.
Yes, that was the 17-0 comeback.
Yeah.
This game is in Cincinnati. It's not Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Big Ben does really bad on the road. Not a lot of girls let him slide into their DMs. I don't know, man. I think I'm liking that Cincinnati magic that's going on right now, and I'm gonna go with the Bengals. The Bengals are. I think the Bengals are one of the teams that I really like this year. They've been them and the Lions. I've been betting on them quite a bit, and they've been doing all right for me. So I'm gonna stick with the Bengals on this one.
See, I have a feeling that there's going to be a little bit of a shift at some point. And the only reason why I say that is that you're now not in that first quarter of the NFL season where teams are starting to gel.
Mm-hmm.
Pittsburgh had a pretty good week last week.
They did have a pretty good week last week.
They did dismantle the Falcons. It's really, really hard to really even maybe pass the Pittsburgh Steelers by. This may be an actual test for Cincinnati. I'm not saying that Pittsburgh's running game is going to be anything great, but believe it or not, it's week 6. They get Le'Veon Bell on their bye week next week, which is kind of funny because
that's not this week though.
But you know what? Connors is going to really want to show something in that run game.
That is true.
And to honestly tell you, I wish there was a better breakdown for league rankings on defenses and stuff like that. But both defenses are trash.
Yeah.
Offensively,
Cincinnati's is a little less trash.
but Pittsburgh's offense is starting to turn around a little bit more. That's the great thing. That passing game, you still have Antonio Brown. Juju's running really great routes. Vance McDonald is actually running around. I never really would have expected him to be in Pittsburgh to begin with, but I may actually roll with the Steelers on this, the black and gold.
So we've got Derek says Steelers by 6. Trin says with Burfict back, he's got Bengals by 7. I'm gonna go with with Trin on that one. I'm saying Bengals. You're gonna roll with the Steelers.
Yeah, I'm rolling with the Steelers because I feel like there's going to be a big turnaround with the Steelers offense at this point. Knowing that Le'Veon is still 2 weeks away, they're going to want to get that team rolling by the time he comes back. And it's just like almost signing a free agent or making a big trade that you're going to get that valuable of a piece back. I think I think last week was the start against the Falcons, and I think it carries over this week against the Bengals.
All right. We'll see if it happens. Next, we've got the Chargers
versus this ain't your old daddy's Browns.
This ain't your old daddy's Browns. Oh, man.
So there was an article I read this week that they're really saying that Baker Mayfield is just a stopgap for quarterback this year. I don't know who in their right mind said that was going to be the big thing. Baker Mayfield has showed everybody a lot more than what everybody really expected.
Dude, Baker Mayfield's an amazing quarterback. Apparently these people didn't watch him at OU.
And he's basically again, it's a real weird thing that I'm going to say. But with certain bounces of the ball, the Browns would have a better record than what they're showing right now.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay? Week in and week out, Cleveland held that freaking Baltimore game last week, and I still piss on the NFL for not being able to show the end of that game. I don't care what time restraints you have. If there's NFL football being played, we should be able to watch the end of every game.
Watch the end of the game, and then you like the game that just started. You let that one go by the way, by the wayside till the one that was before it's done.
NFL Red Zone actually booted this one off the air because all of the 4:00 games started, and they didn't do the side-by-side screen, which is what I was really pissed off about. I could do that on my TV. I don't know why NFL can't do that on their broadcast. But Cleveland showed up last week.
Yeah.
Baltimore has one of the top-rated defenses in the NFL. And the lowly, here we go with more walking turds in those chocolate fucking ugly uniforms that they wore last week, stood up to the Ravens in a field goal game and beat the Ravens in overtime. This was their third win their third game in overtime where they're ones across the board. But Cleveland has definitely shown me something. And obviously Tyrod Taylor was not the reason why.
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield is going to be the real deal after he gets a full year of experience in. He's obviously picked up that offense, and I'm not crapping on the Chargers on this point because I've seen a lot out of the Chargers. The Chargers have been an up and down team the entire season, and you saw the results last week, man. The Raiders, they got a fucking taste of Phillip Rivers, a guy who's never probably going to win an NFL championship, but will become a Hall of Famer at some point. Because his numbers are just that good.
Rivers has that man. That guy has a game. He pulls a few games out of his ass every year. He is a great quarterback. I talk a lot of crap on the guy. I talk a lot of crap on everybody in the AFC West, but you have to break down, and we're going to get into this a little bit later. But Phillip Rivers is a fantastic quarterback, and man, I think he's starting to get up and up. And I think the Chargers defense is way too much for Mayfield to handle.
Yeah, but you know what? I kind of, again, this is where league rankings are just a little. They don't tell the whole story every week when we see these league rankings.
The Chargers,
okay?
the Chargers. I think the Chargers should have like the 8th ranked defense. I think they're pretty damn good. And I mean, I don't like the league ranking on that. I think they're a way better defense than they're getting their number is. I'm going with the Bolts on this one.
See, this is where again, like I'm really Vegas. Okay, this is not the 20. This is not the 2017 Browns. This is not the 2016 Browns. Vegas has this as a pick'em. This is where the numbers are so construed. Again, you look at a 27th ranked defense. They have the 2nd best rushing offense in the NFL right now. That's insane.
For the Browns.
For the Browns.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Browns are ranked 2nd in something in the NFL in the last 30 years. Okay,
in my brain, you look at the talent on the Chargers side, but then you look at that upstart Cleveland Browns team. This team has been underdog the whole season, and look at their record.
That is true. Very true.
I take the risk with the Browns only knowing the fact that if they stood up to the Baltimore Ravens, that game 2 weeks ago against the Raiders was phenomenal. I could not stop talking about that the entire week. Okay? I saw that game from beginning to end, and I was ultimately impressed with the Cleveland Browns. And this is an actual 1:00 game I would actually look forward to watching on Sunday. I am going to roll. I'm going to roll with the Browns, hoping and praying that they do not wear those shitty uniforms again.
Oh, they're going to wear them turd buckets. Man, I'm going to go with the Bolts. I'm sticking with the Bolts. I think Phillip Rivers is starting to hit his stride, and I think they're going to take it. I think the defense is way better than what they're ranked as.
And for people betting, the line is only 46 under over. Take the over.
Yeah.
I'm calling that right now. The over. Because this game is going to be a lot closer than everybody thinks. I really. No,
I don't think they're going to win it. I don't think they're going to just bowl them over, though. I mean, I think it's going to. I'd take the over as well, because it's going to be a fantastic game. I have a feeling. Oh, baby, I got the feeling it's going to be a good game.
All right, so our producer also has the Chargers as well.
No, our producer has the Browns.
Oh, he picked the Browns? Oh, yeah. Shit.
He likes to talk all that shit.
Wow.
Trent has the Chargers.
All right.
So
I didn't write trends down, so when we go back through the comment section later on, we'll figure that out.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, so we got the Bills at the Texans.
All right.
Both teams are 2-3. Last head-to-head was in 2015. Bills won 30-21. Before that, in 2014, Texans won 23-17. And then in 2012, the Texans won 21-9.
All right, so this is another game where the teams really haven't seen each other.
Yeah,
those were actually
like
decent,
but that 2 or 3 year increments.
But this was actually when Buffalo actually had a team.
Yeah.
The record says 2-3, but when you have little chicken wings running around on the field to be your offensive line, your wide receivers, your safeties, and all that,
I'm gonna have to make a soundboard just for Ricky-isms.
I am really gonna I'm not even gonna go into to real deal stats on this. Houston is giving 10 according to the Vegas odds. And they have 41 under and over. I'm not even going to go into numbers. I'm going with the Houston Texans.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Horns as well. I really don't think we need to talk that much about that game. The Bills are just not.
Let's just hope that this game doesn't go into overtime, because right now the Texans are 2-0 in overtime.
Oh Lord. Oh Lord.
That's how they've won all of their games in overtime.
Yeah.
This game
Trent
here
says Houston by 14. Derek has said nothing because he's still trying to look up stats or taking a piss.
No, he's got the Texans.
Oh, he's got the Texans. Oh, so yours a little faster. He's got Texans too. Everybody's got Texans on that one. We're all one happy family. So you want to move on to the next one, or you want to talk a little bit more about this game? Let's move on to the next one, because our producer's just going to go. He's going to start stroking himself on this one. All right. We've got the Chicago Bears versus the Miami Dolphins.
All right. So without really going into a lot of dynamics with this game,
Ditka versus Finkel.
Florida has just been hit with a hurricane. Now, I obviously know Miami really had nothing to do with this, but the weather is going to be hot
and humid
and rainy and disgusting. So I'm not going to read that comment that just said Bears by 50. It's not going to be by 50.
You just read the comment.
I know. I've been twisted shit the entire night so far.
Oh no!
Bears are used to the rain, the muck, the disgusting crap that NFL football really should be played in. That I can go with. The Dolphins have not really proved me anything at all this year. They've lost 2 in a row. The defense has not held a lead. I don't think they've even held a cold, which is kind of scary. Their offense is pretty much oblivious.
Yeah. I'm going, I've already got my pick. I'm going with my favorite player in the NFL. I'm going with Mac Attack, and he's just gonna dick punch the Dolphins.
All right,
I'm sorry. No one, like, that guy is the best defensive player in the NFL, and he will get several. And I agree. What Trent says here, Mac will have more sacks in this one game than the Raiders have had all year. I don't doubt it. I'm going for the Bears. Khalil Mack, that's my boy. I love the guy to death. I wish he was still playing on my team, but he's not. And Trubisky's been doing okay. Obviously, they're 3-1. So I say Bears walk away 4-1 after this game.
All right. So just to give everybody the lowdown on Vegas odds, Vegas is spotting Miami a point, and it's a 44 under over. So just be careful on that little nugget with this game, because again, Chicago's offense is better than Miami's. Obviously, I believe at this point this game is going to be won by Chicago's defense.
Yeah, absolutely.
If Trubisky actually does what he did a few weeks ago with the 6 touchdown performance in the first half, then I see a lot of people turning this game off early. If it's going to be a little bit sluggish at the start, then maybe Vegas might be right by it only being a 1-point difference. But Bears all the way on that one.
I agree. We'll take the Bears. Oh, and up next, do we really have... This is the first 4 o'clock game. I don't think it's going to need much to be discussed. But the Rams at the Donkeys.
All right. So.
All right. Let me take a breath here.
So the Rams have everything in basically the top 10, except for their defense.
No, defense is ninth.
Well, okay, but you still have first offense, seventh rushing, second in the passing game. There are weapons that are damaged on the Rams offense. Sammy Watkins is laid up. Brandon Cooks got laid out last week, like he did in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. I thought Watkins played for Kansas City.
I don't remember what they said. One guy was coming back. Maybe I did read it. Maybe it was written wrong or whatever, but it was in the notes that I have.
Okay. But anyway.
I still question the Rams defense. The Broncos obviously are not really anything to write home about. Third rushing. Their passing is in 18th. I'm going to go with the Rams to be 6-0.
Yeah.
However, I still question the fact, are the injuries going to start to mount up for the Rams, and is that going to be their downfall for the season? After that,
man,
it's not even close. The Rams are spotting the Broncos 7, and the under/over is 52.
Yeah, I don't even. Cooper Kupp, yeah, Cooper Kupp and Cooks, they have the concussions, right? Trin did confirm Watkins is on Kansas City. Trin says Rams will dominate Keenan. Keenan's going to throw 2 picks, fumbles once, and Gurley's going to have 3 touchdowns.
Maybe we should put his things on the written list.
He seems to do a lot of.
We should have Trin call in every once in a while too.
We should. That could be the other arch rival.
Trin, we will be getting in touch with you to get on here.
You could be on the show, sir.
I'd be down with that.
Hell yeah.
So are we all conjective on the
Rams? Yeah. The Longhorns are taking it.
Okay.
Roundhorns, I mean. All right.
Well, believe it or not, I should root for the Rams all the time because they're my astrological sign.
Oh, well, Jesus Christ. I didn't know this was a women's show. Sorry, that was sexist. Man.
All right. This is a game. This is a trap game.
Yeah.
In my opinion. Right off the bat, Vegas odds, pick 'em. Pick 'em. 42 under/over. Now, obviously, everybody can see what the league rankings are.
Yeah.
Again, these numbers are kind of inflated.
This team lost. Yeah. They are very inflated. We look at the Ravens last week. They lost to the Browns in a field goal match. So, go ahead with it. Go ahead with odds, Rick. I mean, you've got more of the stuff right in front of you right now because I'm running off the computer and I'm trying to look at the chat room.
All right.
But
now, again, you look at some of these numbers. The Titans are up there in D.
Yeah.
Their offense is not so great.
No, they're ranked 11th, but
it's opposite on the other side for the Ravens, where they're 11th in offense, 3rd in defense, 8th in passing. However, their running game, not so much.
Much to be desired.
This is where I kind of find, from watching these games the last few weeks, if Baltimore can't score against that vaunted Browns defense, that was in 27th, 28th?
Yeah.
In D, how are they going to put up points against the 7th ranked Tennessee Titans?
Yeah.
Okay. The Titans are that feel-good story for the year. Mike Vrabel's their coach. Former Pat. He's obviously learned a lot from Belichick, from the playing days and everything else. He's gotten that team running. However, Tennessee's offensive attack is not phenomenal. Not at all. They did beat the Super Bowl champions again. A game that took 4.5 quarters.
But
Baltimore is still up there in defensive pressures. It's one of those games again. If Vegas can lean either way on these, and I didn't really see this line change throughout the week. So basically, it's been a 2-point game or pick 'em. So I am going to be leaning on the Baltimore Ravens. I'm a big defensive guy. I still love the defensive pressures, and I feel that might be the best way to go.
I'm gonna split with you on that one. I'm gonna go with the Titans. I think the Titans. I think the Titans have it. I don't know, man, because you think about what Baltimore did last week. They're probably going to be hungry for a win, but they're on the road. I don't see them. I don't see how their offense is going to do well against Tennessee's defense. So I'm going to go with the Titans. Defensive game with the Titans.
Now, do we really? Do we really? Okay. I said exactly the exact same thing. Jacksonville and Dallas. This game is in Big D. And then
Big D is an overstatement.
And that doesn't necessarily mean Dallas.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying on that. Jacksonville's game last week against Kansas City disappointed me.
Holy shit. That was crazy. That was a crazy game, man.
Now, I do understand Jamal Charles just did sign with the Jaguars. That gives them a little bit of offensive boost in the backfield.
It does.
However, and we already know which way Trent's going on this one, so we don't have to worry about that.
He's a KC fan, so he's probably going to go with the
Outlaws?
I think he's going to go with the Jags.
I would go with the Jags here too, but I still have a lot of questions with that Jacksonville offense. It does not amaze me, and to honestly tell you, with a first-ranked defense, if you couldn't shut down the Kansas City Chiefs, that's a problem.
Yeah, but we're talking about the Cowboys.
Vegas has this as freaking Jacksonville giving the Cowboys an extra point, and 41 under over, which means neither team is really going to score any points.
What under over?
41.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm going to go Jags all the way on this one, because I don't think that the Cowboys offense is anywhere near capable of going up against the Jags defense. Now, we'll talk about them against the Kansas City offense last week, but we also have to talk about. I've never said this with a straight face in my entire life, but Kansas City is a Super Bowl potential team with Patrick Mahomes. Their offense is a juggernaut.
It is a juggernaut, but this is also the second week in a row that you've not seen that Mahomes kid from the first few weeks of the NFL season. This is my whole thing. Kansas City's defense won them that game last week at Jacksonville. Five of the turnovers were from the Jacksonville's offense. 4 picks, one of them including a pick six, and a fumble recovery.
That is true.
So now you got to question that Jacksonville offense. Granted, yes, Leonard Fournette is not there. He's not starting again this week. Yes, you're getting Jamal Charles, who's been sitting on the sidelines, probably whacking his bag, looking to get an NFL job because nobody picked him up even in the preseason.
Well, because he plays 2 games and gets hurt.
But here's my question. If Jacksonville's defense got hit up and literally trampled by that Chiefs offense last week, rushing game was obviously there. Even though Mahomes didn't really have very many passing touchdowns, he still ran the ball.
Yeah, but Trent's a Chiefs fan, and he says right here Blake Bortles won them that game last week.
Exactly.
So,
So now I'm looking at this 8th ranked defense that went toe to toe with the Texans and probably, if not one of the hardest hitting NFL games that I've seen in almost this whole entire decade. Dallas's D plus Ezekiel Elliott in Dallas could be a real rough game for them.
I'm still going with the Jags. I'm going to go with the Jags on this one. I don't have any faith in the Cowboys at all.
Jacksonville screwed the pooch with me last week. I'm going with Dallas.
Well, they screwed the pooch with both of us, but I'm going with the Jags. Okay. So speaking of that screwed the pooch team.
Oh,
Ricky.
Okay,
what are you guys gonna do?
What am I gonna do?
What are you gonna do this week? Because we've
There's
got
gonna be
the 5-0 Kansas City Chiefs at the 3-2 New England Patriots at Gillette Stadium.
Okay, so the last game that these two played was the home opener last year.
Yeah, and then the Chiefs just dick slapped them.
But then got dick slapped the rest of the season.
They did get dick slapped the rest of the season. They made it to the playoffs, and then they lost.
Exactly the point.
That's what they always do.
They start off phenomenal every year, and then they tailspin. Obviously, Belichick had the Thursday night game last week against the Colts.
Yeah.
He has had 12 days to frickin' pretty much get as much tape as possible.
Yeah.
A lot of the analysts are saying, since he's game planned for so long, and he's probably been game planning even before Friday last week. Let's even say this, because he does that. He collects so much analysis for things like this. He is going to take away certain things, attempt to at least. From my understanding, I've read a lot about it. I've heard a lot of stuff. They plan on taking away Travis Kelce. If that's the main cog in the Kansas City's offense, in my opinion, I think he's got another thing coming. Because it's not going to be just Mahomes throwing to Kelce all the time.
No, he's got Hill. I mean, and who's that? Oh, they got Watkins. Oh, Watkins is hurt.
Yeah, Watkins is hurt. But this is my key thing. And they lost another receiver to injury this week. I think that receiver's actually done for the year. A lower leg injury. My thing is this. If Belichick actually utilizes the defense properly, he has to spy Mahomes. This is the game plan I would be walking in with. Okay? You got to spy Mahomes, because the more he runs around,
Watkins is playing.
Watkins is playing? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That was updated from early.
From Trin. From Trin, he said Watkins is playing.
Okay. But even still, Watkins has not been utilized the way he has been in Buffalo, how he was with the Rams. He's almost like the forgotten piece. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right? Yeah, see, the receiver is down. The sixth receiver is down. This is going to be one of those 80-point games. I'm saying it right now. This is going to be a tremendous shootout the entire night. There are going to be bombs thrown. Punches are going to be thrown. This is not going to be one of your, we're going to play nice games, because this game here is going to be pretty much one of those games where could possibly be standing-wise down the line for seeding in the playoffs.
Yeah. No, I can see that. One thing I will have to say, historically, and I talk shit to all my friends that are Chiefs fans and hear that Anthony Reid is not a man that loses in primetime. He does not often lose on primetime. This is a primetime game. There's going to be, I agree with you. I think it's going to be a shootout. I think New England's defense is going to do a number. It's going to give it's going to give Mahomes and the offense something to think about. And you when you go, I don't care about what these league rankings have to say. Well, you're talking about Bill Belichick versus Andy Reid. I think Bill Belichick's the better coach. I really do. Man.
It's listen. In my opinion, will I be upset if the Pats lose Sunday night? No. Only for the fact being
Oh, you're
is
gonna
that
be a little butthurt. You know you're gonna be.
No, I'll be
You'll
fine
have
with this.
You'll have a couple tears.
My brother-in-law will have his little cheer, and then after the sixth game when he loses like 5 in a row, then
Your brother-in-law is a Chiefs fan.
Yeah, he's a Chiefs fan. He followed Joe Montana there. That's the only reason why he was.
Oh, okay. Is he from San Francisco?
No.
He just liked Joe Montana.
He just liked Joe Montana. So
Joe Montana.
I don't know about Montana.
That's a water boy joke.
I'll put it to you this way. Vegas has got this at 58 under over. Jeez. They know the potential of this game. You now have Josh Gordon playing for the third game in a row. Edelman's back for a second game in a row. Kansas City's defense is not going to be able to contain everybody.
No, they aren't.
They've had
I don't know if these power ranking how accurate these are, because I saw another ranking that said Kansas City's defense is 27th. So, I mean, we're looking at the NFL.com rankings. So, I mean, I'm going to go with them because that's the NFL.
Yeah, but you're also looking at the fact being is that for once Kansas City's defense had more than 3 turnovers in a game.
Yeah.
This is where all of these numbers get misconstrued, because a team automatically can have 5 turnovers and then the next week cannot have any turnovers, and other teams that are, let's say they're in that like 28, 29, and 30 ranking, according to whatever stat book you look at, they have that 5 turnover game, and automatically your defense is going to just drop numbers. So maybe saying that staying at 32nd might be okay, because it was just one great game that Kansas City had where their defense actually stood up, and it wasn't a shootout.
Very true. Very, very true. And and we have also had to look at the way their defense played against Denver. They didn't play great against Denver. Okay, I mean, they played terrible against Denver. So I'm going to go ahead and say I'll agree with you on that, because they had a good game last week against the Jags. And I think Blake Bortles just shit the bed on that one. So I'm going to go. I've listened to you talk. We've been doing this for a while now. I've watched the Patriots. They start off in September a little rocky. They're figuring out. They're gelling. They're trying to figure out the way this team's supposed to work, and they're getting back, busting the cobwebs off, and they're starting to pick it up, because they're not just winning games. They're blowing teams out now, and so I don't know. I'm gonna go for the Chiefs, but man, I have a hard time picking that one, because I think the Patriots are gonna win this. I'm going to go with the Pats.
You obviously know which way I was already going, so.
The Pats. Well, I already knew him. I just wanted to stroke your ego a little bit.
All right.
What do you got? You ready to move on to the final Monday night football game, ladies and gentlemen? We have the 49ers of San Francisco versus the Green Bay Packers.
All right, without really going into tremendous depth on this game, obviously, maybe San Francisco is looking at a draft pick at this point. They don't have their starting running back out for the year. Jimmy G out for the year. The only thing I can say is that, again, they have a top 5 rusher.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing that they really have is their run game. Obviously, their pass game is actually surprisingly decent, because I did see those highlights from San Fran and Arizona last week. Bethard can throw the ball. Question is, can his receivers catch the ball? I'm not sure exactly where Aaron Rodgers is. I hope Mason Crosby learned how to kick field goals throughout the week because that was pitiful.
Jesus Christ. Well, I'm gonna, you know what? I don't think that they're gonna rely on him so much this game.
Well, you'd hope not. You'd hope not. Now, these teams have not really seen each other in 2 years, so the teams have obviously been a lot different in the last 2 years. But still, the 49ers, man, it's very depressing to know that you have all these great pieces to start the season, and now all of a sudden you're in that tailspin. Obviously, injuries do matter in the NFL, and you can obviously say at this point that an injury to one player does make a huge deal.
I'm going to see what Trent. Trent, who do you think's on this one? You think Derek said pack? Derek says pack. Trent, I want to see what you have to say on this one. But go ahead, Ricky. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you know what? This game is a prime time. It's in Green Bay. The weather is that's actually warm for Green Bay at this point of the year. I would really think 45 degrees, low of 30 in October. Yeah. That's actually pretty good football weather. Grab a hoodie and a pair of sweatpants, a little jacket, go sit up in the stands. This would be one of those games, if I actually had tickets, I'd go to this game and be fine the entire night.
Well, because it's about because you're running out of times you could go see a team in Green Bay. What was it, like last year or 2 years ago? They played a game outside, and helmets were cracking because it was so fucking cold.
Yeah, they actually for that game they actually trucked in extra helmets for both teams because during the practices the helmets were cracking. It was even just as cold.
And that's not even from contact. That's just from the cold.
So you definitely know that you really hope that the NFL did a lot better deals with the helmet companies.
That makes you say, like, honestly, football is such a barbaric sport. I mean, might as well have those leather helmets that they did back in the 40s, because Jesus Christ, like if you're sitting out there and you got these fucking polymer helmets and they're sitting there cracking in the cold weather. Come on, man.
Think of it this way: the leather helmets probably actually kept their head warmer.
Either that or just like turned into ice, and then it was just like it just like shrunk their heads and shit. I don't know.
Okay, so Trin is going with the pack, even though he says he wants to say the 49ers, but he just can't.
Yeah, I can't say the 49ers. No, not against the Green Bay Packers at home at primetime. I think the Packers take it, and their record goes up to 3-2-2-1.
So our producer said he's gonna give me the rest of his picks later on.
Yeah, his phone died. Too much porn watching.
Mine actually died. Was dying during the show. Thank God I reached in to grab the charger.
So there we have it.
And let me just give you the last little bit of information on this game. San Fran is being spotted 10, and the under/over is 46.5. So if you're a money man and you want to bet with the actual spread, you actually would take the 49ers getting 10 points. Just saying.
Just saying.
So those are our picks for week 6 in the NFL season. Holy shit.
I mean, that's it. I mean, I think that we've got a lot to think about, or a lot. We figured it out. I guess we'll see you guys on Tuesday evening after the Monday night game. We'll do our recap. Derek says he's got $10 against the Chiefs.
Wait, so if he's got 10 against, that means he's betting the Pats.
Derek, both of us picked the Pats.
Well, he didn't know his phone was dead.
Keep your $10.
Actually, you know what? If maybe we should lay that as a side bet between him and Trent.
Trent, you owe Trent $10 because you know Trent's gonna go for the fucking Chiefs because he likes old Kermit the Frog. There he
my-
goes. He's immediately, I'll take that.
All righty.
It's Kermit the Frog versus the Mouth Kisser.
Oh, that's horrible. Holy shit.
Oh, God.
All right, so I thank everybody for tuning in to Archrivals. Like Alex said, we'll be back on Tuesday around the same time.
Hell yes.
If you guys have any comments, put them in the box. We always like to hear some of these comments, especially when they commented about your flat hat from Tuesday, which I thought was actually pretty funny.
My flat hat.
Yes, your flat Raiders hat
How's it flat?
with the brim.
Oh, it's always flat. I always wear a flat bill.
Yeah, well, somebody commented on it and said that they, were weirded out by your flat-billed hat.
Well, because I'm gangster like that, dude. Fuck off.
All righty, so till Tuesday, everybody have a great weekend. Don't drink and drive, and
Maybe
enjoy.
we'll have some TDRS tomorrow night, late night. Who knows? We will probably have. Trin, our shows usually around 9:30 on Tuesdays and around 9:30 on Fridays. Tuesday we do our recap of the weekend, and then Friday we do our picks for the upcoming Sunday. And then TDRS will be back on Sunday. If we're not back tomorrow, we'll be back on Sunday and Monday.
Yep.
And always Pain Train Pipe Bomb on Thursdays.
Yes, indeed.
All right, guys. Take her easy or don't take her at all.
Well, I was not expecting to get an arch rival today, but here we are.
Come on, man.